That's all right, we're all alike. Black man, a white man, a Muslim and a Jew walk into a bar and say, how do you do? Along comes a Baptist and a young Hindu. Yeah, they have a couple drinks, sing a couple songs. The proof's in the pudding, we can all get along. We're all alike, all alike. We all know the difference between wrong and right. We all put the baby in the cradle at night. We all need love. That's all right, we're all alike. You know, we all get cold when the fire goes out. Confidence is shaken when you give in to doubt. So we do the hokey pokey, because that's what it's all about. And we take a trip to Canada or Kathmandu, where they walk and they cry and they laugh just like you. We're all alike, all alike. We all know the difference between wrong and right. We all put the baby need love. That's all right, we're all alike. Red and yellow, black and tan, all the world's children are going to understand that it might be the fire or the frying pan, but we can make it all better if we get together with an open heart and a willing hand. We're all alike, all alike. We all know the difference between wrong and right. We all put the baby in the cradle at night, and we all need love. That's all right, we're all alike. Yeah, I'm just like you, and you're just like me. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Also on this new CD are two songs that were recorded to memorialize two really good friends who were great songwriters. You know, it's a very common thing when you're talking about somebody and say, oh, he's a great songwriter. Well, I'm talking about great. I don't know, I'm sure that since he was a Westerner, Chuck Pyle probably once played on this stage. Chuck and I were close friends. And I played at one of his memorial services in Denver, where we had a lot of different people. Molly O'Brien and some of the other luminaries came, played and sang. We each did two Chuck Pyle songs. And I cheated on one song because Chuck recorded one of my songs. And so I figured nobody out there would know that I wrote it. They would think that's a Chuck Pyle song. So I played that one. And but to redeem myself, I did go and work to try to learn one of his tunes. And I decided to learn to play it the way he played it. Little did I know that would use up a good year of my pandemic time. Chuck and I played a lot alike in our styles, at least on the surface. And yet he and I both realized when we heard people say, you guys play alike, we'd realize that I can't do what he did and he couldn't do what I did. And so we knew better because he had the most unique guitar playing style. The West, Colorado particularly, was written all over his playing style as well as his singing style. So here's the title song from his Affected by the Moon album. gypsy guitar, violins play, cafe bar, Champs-Élysées. The music's hot, tempo's up, ready or not, falling in love. Far from the frantic pace of life, so today sweet, this out of the way place carries you and me to romantic consequences, coming to our senses, and not a moment too soon. So very affected by the moon. Dancing hip to hip, oh, civil play, beautiful lips, sip Cabernet. And what is this, if not time out of time, a stolen kiss, the perfect crime. Far from the frantic pace of life, so today sweet, this out of the way place carries you and me to romantic consequences, coming to our senses, not a moment too soon. So very affected by the moon. So very affected by the moon. Chuck Pyle. Chuck passed away doing something he loved to do. We should always be that lucky when we go. He was fly fishing, basically in his backyard in Palmer Lake, Colorado. He had a heart attack or a stroke or something, but he fell in the water and drowned there. Man, we miss that voice and that person. How many of you saw the last total eclipse? Got a few. Did it come this way? I have no idea. We were a little south. We were. I was playing in Michigan, and I made a point to plan my route to cross the line of totality, and it worked. It worked. I booked myself in Indianapolis, coming down from Michigan, headed straight for St. Louis, I-44 down to 80 miles or so to the little town of St. Clair. And we knew that that was going to be right on the line. Got out on the expressway exit, sat down in our folding chairs with several hundred people who were also there for the same event. And we were surprised. We thought we were going to miss it because we'd forgotten we'd gone through a time change. So we got there and had a little extra time. So I pulled out my guitar. I started goofing around. Dogs commenced howling. Birds are hunkered down. The air is getting chilly. The lights come on in town, and everybody's asking, what on earth is going on? So I thought, that's not half bad idea. for a song. But the world does not need another 12-bar blues. So I ended up at the beginning of the eclipse, I started writing the song, and when it finished, I finished the song. But when I went home, I took the chords and I made them into what they should be, something more mystical, universal, eerie. Here's what I came up with. This is on the new album, too. Dogs commenced howling, birds are hunkered down, the air's getting chilly, and the lights come on in town, and everybody's asking, what on earth is going on? The moon swallowed the sun, there's trouble when the light is gone. Rooster starts to crowing, crickets chirp and rhyme, spring peepers peeping, they've lost all sense of time. The great horned owl is hooting, and the doe beds down with the fawn. The moon swallowed the sun, there's trouble when the light is gone. You don't believe in people, and you don't believe in love. You don't believe in science or the telltale sign above. And you prayed for something different, and it finally came along. And now you're cursing in the dark, wondering where the light is gone. I've seen the great aurora and the endless Milky Way. I've felt the earth tremble and I've seen the buildings sway. But nothing can be stranger than the moon crossing over the sun. And a world that's growing dark, there's trouble when the light is gone. You don't believe in people, and you don't believe in love. You don't believe in science or the telltale sign above. And you prayed for something different, and he finally came along. And now you're cursing in the dark, wondering where the light is gone. Yeah, you're cursing in the dark, wondering where the light has gone. Thank you. It has been kind of an eclipse the last several years. It's been years. Maybe the light will come back. Well, this is Friday night, so this is the wrong song. But Saturday is the night. It's when we all go out and do whatever we're going to do. In northern South Carolina and Cotton Country, where I come from, you always knew it was Saturday night because you'd look up on the hill and the big old house there, and there was MacArthur Hilton in his pressed jeans and pressed white T-shirt, white socks, and penny loafers, washing that late model Chevy. You knew it was Saturday night. You knew where he was going. because I knew where we were all going. In Lancaster County, that's where we went, to the big city, Lancaster, South Carolina. Population 5,000. Monstrous metropolis. Home of the largest cotton mill under one roof in the world. Spring-made sheets. Almost everybody there worked for the Spring-made company. Or they helped stink up the place at the Bowater paper plant. But on Saturday night, that's the night, man. That's the night we all went. Wherever we went to celebrate the freedom of Saturday. We go up to Lancaster. They come from Pleasant Hill, 9 miles. They come from Heath Springs, 7 miles up to Lancaster. They come from Pageland. They come from Chester, all around northern South Carolina. And we would go to Howard's Hub Motor Inn. Those are the 3 drive-ins. And it would be in that order. Howard's Hub Motor Inn. You would never do Hub Motor Inn, Howard. You would never do that. It would be a cultural betrayal in conservative South Carolina. You do things the way we do them. And it was kind of okay, though, because you always knew where somebody was. They said, well, we saw him at Howard's a while ago. Then you know he's probably at the Motor Inn right after that, you know. And midnight had come around, you know, and we had been watching at the Motor Inn. We had particularly liked the Motor Inn because there was a wooden fence across the street where it was a drive-in movie, and they showed dirty movies, you know. And we'd sit up on the hood of the car and eat our slaw dog and Coca-Cola. We call it Coca-Cola in South Carolina. And we'd watch these movies, you know, and couldn't hear anything, but who cared? And it'd get dark and time for guys to take their dates home, or for the solo guys. We'd all just drive down to Pleasant Hill, South Carolina. There's a cotton farmer there named Leon Robertson. Leon's Pond was where we went. If there hadn't been any other guys around there, there would have been some folks parked over there in the corner, you know. You know how that is. But on nights like this, it was just all us guys. And we'd park our cars in a circle around the side of the pond, leave on a light or two, turn our radios to WLAC Nashville. And you might think there in Cotton Country that we'd be listening to country music. You'd be so wrong. WLAC Nashville was all R&B and blues. You go listen to groups like The Band, and well, there's only one of them left. But if you would ask them, they would say, yeah, we tuned in WLAC. You'd hear Sam Cooke, you know. Don't know much about history. Don't know much about... You'd hear all this great stuff. Every now and then we'd be sitting there and just listening. We wouldn't even be talking. We'd just have our eyes closed, leaning back on our cars. And every now and then something like this would happen. At last, my love has come along. And Miss Peaches would be on the radio. Etta James. And I swear some of those old country boys would be weeping because it was just so good. And we would listen to that stuff, man. And it was like the star that guided us over in the distance was this music, you know. And late night, you'd hear the gospel music. Herman Grizzard had come on. He was the DJ. And he played the gospel bands. Some of the best band names I've ever heard were the gospel groups. The Mighty Clouds of Joy. Or the Swan Silvertone Singers. You know, it makes you just almost feel like Nureyev, you know. So I'm sorry to say, as South Carolina as that story was written by a man from California. I love this song so much I had to record it. His name is Tom Waits. Now you gassed her up. You're behind the wheel. Arm around your sweet one in your Oldsmobile, barreling down the boulevard. looking for the heart of Saturday night. You got paid on Friday, your pockets are jingling. You see the city lights and you get all tingling 'cause you're cruising with a six. Looking for the heart of Saturday night. You comb your hair, shave your face. You try to wipe out every trace of all those other days in the week. Yeah, this'll be the Saturday that you're reaching your peak. Stopping on red, going on green. Tonight'll be like nothing, baby, that you've ever seen. Barreling down the boulevard, looking for the heart of Saturday night. Is it the crack of the pool balls, or the neon buzzing? Telephone's ringing, it's your second cousin. Or the barmaid smiling from the corner of her eye. Magic of the melancholy tear in her eye makes it kind of quiver down in the core. Thinking about all them Saturdays that went before, and it's found you stumbling onto the heart of Saturday night. You gassed her up in behind the wheel, armed around your sweet one in your Oldsmobile, barreling down the boulevard, looking for the heart of Saturday night. Barreling down the boulevard, looking for the heart of Saturday night. I love that song. Thank you all so much. I got one song to do here before I take a little break. See, I hope I'm not cutting it short. I have no idea what time it is. Am I okay? Perfect. Did you hear that? I'm perfect. He said it. I don't want a ricochet romance. I don't want a ricochet love. If you're careless with your kisses, find another turtle dove. It's one of the god-awfulest songs I ever heard. That was a Teresa Brewer hit back in the early 50s. You know, my mother used to listen to that stuff, and she liked it. She liked it all. I mean, in our house, you might be as likely to hear Brahms and Rachmaninoff as you were to hear the Dorsey Brothers, Louis Jordan. I mean, she had those 78 RPMs, which I have, all of them. I still got them. She's the one that got me into jazz and into classical music, just by playing it on that old Victrola. You could always tell when the record changed. You know, 78s when they fall on each other. You know, we really missed that when LPs came around. But it was my mother that gave me music. She married an Army man, Lieutenant Captain Major Colonel Williams. That's what I refer to him as. And she traveled all over the world with him. And her only child, spoiled brat, military kid, psychotherapist dream. When I was 4 years old one time, my mother played a ukulele. She liked playing. Now, this was back in the original ukulele craze. Arthur Godfrey. Okay, I look around at the ages in here. I think when I say Arthur Godfrey, you may actually know who I'm talking about. Braden back there on the sound board, he said, what the hell is that? He was red-haired, freckle-faced, and he was avuncular. Would you say that's the word? Avuncular. And he played the ukulele because he did shows from Hawaii. And my mother picked up that ukulele, and she would play all the great ukulele hits. You know, the red sails in the sunset, way out on the sea. Everything that comes in the little booklet that goes with the ukulele. She knew them all. And I came to know them all. I was 4 years old, and I would watch. I just watched because there was something going on in my DNA. Interesting, because nobody on my father's or my mother's side has any artistic or musical DNA. There was some question about whose child this was. You know, a mistake could have been made at the Lancaster County Hospital. But one day she said, Jackie, you always watch me when I play the ukulele, and you love it. And I said, yeah. She said, why don't you see what you can do with it? Well, I'd been watching, and I'd figured out how to play something. She handed it to me, and the first thing I ever played in my life was... And in my grandmother's southern vernacular, you might say, she liked to died. I know I'm not in a place where that is a familiar ring, but that's the way it was. My mother was a cotton farmer's daughter. But she loved that ukulele, and she now knew that her son was going to be a musician. And she loved it. There was some confusion about how Lieutenant Captain Major Williams might react to having a son, because we know about the military and music. It's either John Philip Sousa or nothing. Well, my dad knew that my mother was someone to be reckoned with. He saw her when she was a young teen go down to the Lancaster County Airport and meet Amelia Earhart, who was there to get people to join the Civil Air Patrol, which she did. And Amelia Earhart became her guiding light, her hero for the rest of her life. And my dad saw her when she was 17 in 1938, solo piloting a Piper Cub over the cotton fields. He knew you don't mess with Louise. And then they went off in the Army, and my mother discovered that all these Army bases had these great golf courses. My mother had 7 holes in 1 in tournament golf. She kicked my daddy's ass. So he stayed home and read a lot, which meant that my career went along completely unimpeded by all its dire economic warnings. Jack, I love you and I'll support you in everything you do, but golly, I hate to see you die alone and broke on the streets. Sorry, Dad. I'll be 80 in December. Maybe I'll get a job. Well, I took up the trumpet, took up the piano. I played jazz. I could improvise. I was the only kid on the block that could improvise. I really pissed off all the band directors in all the school because I would be playing, Mr. Williams, please play what's on the page there. This is John Philip Sousa. This is not Louis Armstrong. But she loved it. My mother would listen to me practice. She was the only woman who had a child who took up an instrument for the first time and leave the door open when he practiced. I'd be back there and just having a ball, playing all the, you know. And rock and roll came along. And my mother loved rock and roll. No problem for young Jackie. So this song that I wrote is for my mother. It's a song about Southern food. The kind of stuff that she would cook for me when we were on the road. Kind of Southern food that you find. I don't know if does Oregon have a Cracker Barrel? They're gone. They kicked us Southerners out, huh? Well, it was the kind of food that Yankees used to throw up watching Southerners eat it in a Cracker Barrel, you know. But that's what my mother made for me and what spawned this song, which she never got to hear because she died at age 60. And so I am now almost, 20 years than she ever got to be, 20 years older. But thanks for listening. This is taking a lot of time, I know, but I need to rest before this song because sometimes it takes some very strange turns. Early Sunday morning, I'm stretching and I'm yawning, shaking off the night before. Somewhere in the dwelling, something mighty good is smelling. There's a racket on the kitchen floor. Papa's chopping wood, the fire's burning good, a kettle's bubbling on the eye, and there's a ham in the oven. Mama's stirring something, son. Touch it and I'll tan your hide. Oh, Mama Lou, I'm staying here with you. Cook me something sweet tonight. That old porch swing's creaking, Mama's tea kettle shrieking on a sunny Thanksgiving day. Wipe the smile off my face, 'cause Grandpa's saying grace, but any kid would rather eat than pray. I love my collard greens, I want some black-eyed peas, I want my sweet potatoes on the side. Yes, and okra gets my vote as it slides down my throat, and of course I want my chicken fried. Oh, Mama Lou, I'm staying here with you. Cook me something sweet tonight. Now the tea is double sweet, cools me when I eat or smell biscuits rising slow in the pan. Mama's cobbler's done with the berries, topped with ice cream and cherries, makes a beggar out of any man. My memories roam to that old family home where it smelled like heaven all the time. And Grandmama never changed from a fire to a range. That's music to this heart of mine. Oh, Mama Lou, I'm staying here with you. Cook me something sweet tonight. Play it, Jack. Okay. Now there's a pound cake baking, my taste buds are quaking, Mama's trickling lemon icing on top. I'd still be licking that bowl at 100 years old if Mama hadn't ever stopped. Oh, but stop, yes she did, and us broken-hearted kids, we never let a blessed word go by. That my mama's gentle spirit didn't fly by and hear it, raising love, innocent reply. Mama Lou, I'm staying here with you. Cook me something sweet tonight. Cook me something sweet tonight. something sweet tonight. Some people ask me, what in the world all that scat singing has to do with a song about your mama's cooking? And I reply that it has everything to do with it. Because when I would play trumpet back in the back room, my mother would listen. Sometimes she'd sing along. I'd take a little break, and I would do what I learned from listening to Louie and Ella all those years, that you don't need an instrument to make music. You just make sounds, there are no rules. I feel like Louis Prima. That old black magic has me in a spell. That old black magic that you weave so well. Thanks, Mom. Thank you all so much. I'll be back. There's more to come. Please stick around. Come back and say hey to Judy back in the back. I'll be back in there too. me down, will you? What do you want to know? I don't know anything. I've had it since 1974. I bought it at the Denver Folklore Center. That's almost all I know about guitars. I just know how they feel, how to make them sound like I want them to. People always come up to me and want to talk about my guitar. And I'm always so embarrassed, you know, I can't tell them anything. And I thought maybe I'd head them off the pass and I'd learn a little something about it, but that only egged them on more. That's not a hole. That's the remnant of pickguard. No, the hole was mended in 1985 with resin. We're playing in rock and roll bands. I managed to beat my way into it. There is, you know, what's more interesting about this guitar is not what model it is, what year it is, but what's inside it. There's dust in here. I know, but it's not the kind of dust that's on the outside. It's the remains of 8 loved ones. My mother-in-law, Judy's mother, is in here. A couple of great songwriters. A few other people who just kind of wanted their passed on loved one to be somewhere where there was always music. And so we're going somewhere really interesting. So there are 8 people in here. Tell the truth every time, speak it softly, make it rhyme. Take the high road home. Lies and secrets fly by night. Let's walk together in the light. Take the high road home. Who's to say what's right or wrong? It all depends who wrote the song. Take the high road home. Say today or say mañana. Play with money or play piano. Take the high road home. It's a long way from here to there. Spill your wine or fill your cup. Thank your stars or count your bucks. You can take your time or use it up. It's a long way. Who's to say what's right or wrong? It all depends who wrote the song. Take the high road home. Light a fire, let it burn. That's the way children learn. Take the high road home. Your mother smiles, your sister frowns, so you send your love from distant towns. Take the high road home. And if your preacher tells a lie, keep your faith. Say goodbye. Take the high road home. Yeah, it's your flag, right or wrong. Keep it upright, sing your song. Take the high road home. It's a long way from here to there. Spill your wine or fill your cup. Thank your stars or count your bucks. You can take your time or use it up. It's a long way. Hey, pick your friends, pick your clothes, pick your demons, heaven knows. Take the high road home. a close one. When the reaper comes to call, I think I'll shed no tears at all. Take the high road home. He'll say howdy, I'll say hey. I'll take his hand and call it a day. Take the high road home. It's a long way from here to there. Spill your wine or fill your cup. Thank your stars or count your bucks. You can take your time or burn it up. It's a long way. Tell the truth every time. Speak it softly and make it rhyme. Take the high road home. Take the high road home. Thank you. I told you that on this new album I did 2 songs in memory of 2 great friends, 2 great songwriters. The other one of the greatest songwriters ever in this country, his name was David Olney. David Olney died doing what he loved to do. He was playing at a festival in North Florida several years ago. And he was on a stage. He was on what they call a workshop stage, where they had several musicians trading songs in front of 500 people. It was David's turn. And he came around and he played half of his song and stopped. And he put his guitar on his lap and he looked around at his colleagues, apologized to them, dropped his head on his chest and died right there. Unfortunately, that's the only way he ever got noticed by the New York Times and NPR. You know how the media needs an angle? What an angle. David, I'd rather have him here than the angle. He was a good friend. We played a lot of shows together. I wanted to play one of his songs. Probably one of the most beautiful love songs I ever heard. If my eyes were blind, the darkest night could never hold a mystery. If my eyes were blind, I'd hold your features fast within my memory, within my mind. If my eyes were blind, should my voice grow weak, only you could hear the voice inside me. Should my voice grow weak, never with a word would I deny thee. I would not speak, should my voice grow weak. Should my mind grow dim, and innocent as on the day God made me. Should my mind grow dim, I'd love you like a child or a baby. I'd be gentle as a lamb, should my mind grow dim. And when my youth is gone, in my eyes you shall remain a beauty. When my youth is gone, In my ears I'll hear you singing sweetly, the sweetest song when my youth is gone. When my body dies, darling, I could never leave you lonely. My spirit shall arise to comfort and to care for you only, to sympathize when my body dies. When my youth is gone, should my mind grow dim, should my voice grow weak, if my eyes were blind. David Only song. Man, I miss those guys. Yeah, I was a rock and roller for 30-something years. I also was playing jazz. And played in beatnik coffeehouses up in Tacoma, reading Ferlinghetti, Ginsberg, and Kerouac during the breaks. I'd be up there on a big stool with my beret, 17 years old, you know. Had a copy of the Dharma Bums in my hip pocket, which I pushed up enough to where everybody could see what I was reading, because I was a beatnik, you know. I'd say, Ferlinghetti, I'd say, Johnny Nolan has a patch on his ass. And the Buddha-lidded crowd sitting on the floor on pillows would look up at me and smoke haze and say, way out, man. 10 years later, they'd be saying, far out, man. I wanted to celebrate rock and roll with a song, so I wrote one. It's not as much of a celebration as Dobie Gray's Give Me the Beat, Boys, Free My Soul. What a great song that was. I mean, a song about rock and roll, you know. And I wanted to kind of remember what it felt like to play rock and roll. I wrote this for one of my bands, but it's one of the few songs out of the 1,000 that I wrote for the band that actually made it to the acoustic guitars. But I also wanted to include some of that wonderful 1950s politically incorrect attitude that we had back then. So brace yourselves. It's also on the new CD. Back in '59, graduation time, my shoes were superb, my hair was immaculate. I had the perfect date. I said, we cannot wait. She said, if you be cool, I might let you be the first to tackle it. And my new chrome pipes and my racing stripes, my 57 Chevy was the creme of the creme de la creme. And in a school that small, no competition at all. And when it came to the hop, without a doubt, you were queen of the gym. Chain me to the backbeat, chain me down and let the good times roll. And every now and then, my feet will fly again to the beat of that old solid gold rock and roll. We had the beat from the back, had a grumbling strat. We knew we were part of something too big to deny. And as I stood watching all night long, you and I danced to every song, and we sang all the words to every star in the sky. Chain me to the backbeat, chain me down, let the good times roll. And every now and then, my feet will fly again to the beat of that old solid gold rock and roll. Way back in '59, graduation time. My shoes were superb, my hair was immaculate. I had the perfect date, all her teeth were straight. She said, if you be cool, I might let you be the first to tackle it. Chain me to the back seat, chain me down, let the good times roll. And every now and then my feet will fly again to the beat of that old solid gold rock and roll. And every now and then my feet will fly again to the beat of that old solid gold rock and roll. Or whatever it took to get everybody to quit at the same time. I wrote that song 35 years ago, and I never recorded it. And so there I was in my living room, well, formerly known as a living room. Became my studio. Okay. Sometimes an impetus for writing a song is anger. Anger seems to cause a lot of interesting things to happen, usually bad. 1963, I was a junior at the University of Georgia. 3 years earlier than that, we had integrated the first Southern state chartered university to do that. And we were rather impatient. Almost everybody in the school was impatient for our compadres in Alabama and Mississippi to follow suit, and they just were not doing it. So here it is, September 8th. In a few days, it'll be 60 years, I believe, if I've got the math right, when that bomb went off at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, killing 4 young black girls about to go to Sunday school. We were pissed off. And we just, nothing we could do. We knew that the perpetrators got away. But then in 2001, I was living in Kerrville, Texas. Judy and I read in the paper that a Klansman had been turned in by his guilt-ridden family. 70 years old, Bobby Frank Cherry planted that goddamn bomb, killed those girls, and I just couldn't help but write a song. Mr. Cherry, damn your soul. Did it take love to blast that hole? Such a curious Christian soul to leave those children torn and cold. In this world there walked a man who took 4 lives into his hand. He thought the power within him lay to send those precious, precious souls away. Mr. Cherry, damn from your eyes? Did it take love to pulverize a Sunday morning church house wall? Such evil courage in a mind so small. Like his father, he believed that in that church the devil breathed in black disguise of innocent girls. He'd cast those demons from this world. Mr. Cherry, damned to hell. Did it take love for you to live so well? Conscience free, you betrayed us all and let poor Birmingham take the fall. Brother torn from brother died in that great war of fratricide. Their children born to rage at night and live as slaves, black and white. Mr. Cherry, damn your soul, did it take love to blast that hole? Was it courage or southern pride? Was God nearby? Was he satisfied? Was God nearby? Was he satisfied? Mr. Cherry, damn your soul. Thank you all very much. We never got over that one. So now I'm going to pretend I'm little 12-year-old Jackie Williams playing on my trumpet, playing the music formerly known as Dixieland. I still call it that. The politically correct police now have decided it's to be called trad jazz. Twist me around, tear me up, throw me in the fire. I don't care. I play Dixieland, and it has nothing to do with the name or the connotation. Dixieland was a joyful noise of clarinet, trumpet, and clarinet crawling over each other like a bunch of baby snakes, and making music a joyful noise, And I always wanted to write a song that felt kind of like that old Dixieland. Well, I'm one for you, honey, and I'm through with the show. I ain't going nowhere if you can't go. I'm betting my life, my sanity too, the whole ball of wax and the whole 9 yards on me and you. I'll risk the farm, I'll take a chance, 'cause we raise the stakes from a one-night stand to a true romance. You're the one, and you home the moon, stars and sun, you're the one. And you're the light of the whole wide world. You're the one. Can't no hurricane blow this house down. Not even an earthquake 7.9 will turn my head around. But there's a blizzard outside and the winds are strong, but I'm rock steady on my feet where I belong. Or send a twist of my way and let the lightning strike. but it won't tear apart this house of love that it howl all night. You're the one, you're the one. As you hung the moon, stars and sun, you're the one. You're the light of the whole wide, 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 wide world. You're the one. Do-do-do-do. Play it, boys. Doppler effect. And now the Great Salt Lake, the Gulf of Mexico, and that big old Okeechobee, the Atlantic and Pacific, and the Shenandoah. You know the water is wide, it's cold and it's deep, and it all rolls together in a big blue ball at my baby's feet. I'll catch the rain falling from the sky, and I'll bring it in a bucket to you, baby, when your well runs dry. 'Cause you're the one, you're the one, you're the one. Ooh, you hold the moon and the stars and sun, you're the one. You're the light of the whole wide, wide, wide world, you're the one. And you're the light of the whole wide, 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 wide world, you're the one. Baby, you're the one. Woo, woo, yadda-doo-dup, yadda-doo-dup, baby, you're the one. Thank you. That's what you do for arthritis. You learn to play like this. Arthritis, I thought it was going to stop me, but then I discovered turmeric and curcumin and CBD cream. Here I am still playing at almost 80. Hadn't done much for my aging voice. So every now and then you'll hear me open my mouth and nothing will come out. You know? Believe me, there was a word there at one time. It's just hard to make it come out now and then. And you know what, I decided that's not enough to make me quit. I'm enjoying myself too much. I get to meet some great people out here, and I get to just croak for them. You know? Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. It's hard you will find to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, think of all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part. You'll have a head start if you are among the very young. I pulled into Nazareth, feeling about half past dead, looking for some place where I might lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned and he shook my hand. No was all he said. Take a load off hand. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And oh hell, where were you? Where were you when I needed you? A little practice we get. What's he doing up there, Martha? I think he's lost his mind. As I walk along, I wonder what went wrong with our love, a love that was so strong. Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood, skin and bone. Mind that's weak and back that's strong. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back on the watchtower. No wildcat in hell. I don't care if nobody likes my voice. I've got a Nobel Prize in literature. Take that, Eudora Welty, William Faulkner. Dylan always sings like he has his tongue stuck out at you. I don't know what this is, but it's going to be something I know. I just picked the key of C, and I'm trying to remember what I used to play in the key of C. Come on over, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Come on over, baby, we got chicken in the pot. Whose pot was born, my boy? Come on over, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Key of C, the chord progression that had 14 billion songs written to it in the 50s. I tell you what, you guys have been so quiet. When I say go, I want you to sing whatever song comes to mind while I'm playing this. No, don't tell anybody what it is. Don't let them know, because I want to see where you go with this, okay? I just want to know. 1, 2, 3, go. I'm hearing some stuff I never heard before. You don't remember me, but I remember you. 'Twas not so long ago, you broke my heart in two. Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart caused by you. Now you can keep your Michael Jackson, because we've got Little Anthony and the Imperials. Besides that, Little Anthony decided to stay black. I don't know what was going on with that kid, Michael. He was a beautiful child in the Jackson 5, and then he messed himself up. I just don't understand. By the time he was done, he was an adult. He looked like some kind of reverse Al Jolson. Go walking past your house. They live. Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, no. Some memories are better left alone. Okay. I can tell a story. I can tell it all. about a mountain boy who ran illegal alcohol. His daddy made the whiskey, and Sonny ran the load. And when the engines roared, they called the highway Thunder Road. There was thunder, thunder over Thunder Road. Thunder was his engine and white lightning was his load. There was moonshine, moonshine to quench the devil's thirst. The law they swore they'd get him, but the devil got him first. Remember that movie? Who played the daddy? He also had a hit with this song, singing it. Nobody knew he could sing. I'm not really sure he could. Remember who it was? Robert Mitchum. You got it? I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Okay, smart Alec. Who wrote that song? Robert Mitchum wrote that song. Can you imagine what a career that guy missed out on? Playing for tens of people for tens of dollars, man. He could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. Stella! Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. Oh, what a mess I've made of the song. Actually, I stole that from Mickey Newbury. I'm stuck. Trying to remember something to do. How about fumbling like a star from my sleep, I opened my eyes to take a peep. Then when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love, that hurts my stomach. Love, try. You know, he wasn't the only one did. The Bee Gees used to do that, you know. A strange, weird belly vibrato. There's a line. I can't go through it. A certain kind of line. It's the pitiful sound, you know. They want to sound pitiful. Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love, I got shot, and I died. Songwriters, that's called editing. The guy who sang that song was the only reason I had ever come to Portland back when my career began in 1958. I was playing music up Fort Lewis, Washington, where my daddy was stationed. That's where I played my first gig. I was 15, 1958, September. This is September. This is the 65th anniversary. I hadn't thought of that. But the guys I was playing with, they'd had some musical experience, and they said, we need to take you down to Portland. We want you to hear Marty Robbins. So we came down here and heard Marty Robbins. Some of them knew him, got to talk to him. I know you think I've got this all planned out, but I haven't got a clue where I am, where I'm going. I can go anywhere I want. Strange chords, can go back again. It's nice to be in control. Key of A reminds me, that's the real rock and roll key, that and E. Judy came in where I was working one day several years ago, and she said, I got some bad news for you. At my age, we all know what that means. Somebody's gone on ahead. She said, it's not somebody you actually knew, but I thought you'd like to know that Chuck Berry just died. And that might not mean much to you guys. But in 1959, I was back there in the room with my record player, and I was learning to play his music. I was learning rock and roll. I think he single-handedly invented this kind of rock and roll. Elvis did a great job at what he did, and it was wonderful. But Chuck Berry had something else going on. My record player had 4 speeds on it. 48, 33, 45, 33, 78, and 16. 16. It's very slow for spoken voice, spoken word. Sometimes books were read back then on LPs for the blind. But I used it to learn to play guitar licks. And once you got it under your fingers, you could pick it up and you could go. Oh, Carol, well, don't you let him steal your heart away. Now I gotta learn to dance if it takes me all night and day. Deep down Louisiana, close to New Orleans, back up in the woods among the evergreens, there stood a log cabin made of earth and wood, where lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good. He never ever learned to read or write so well, could play a guitar like a ringing a bell. Oh, Maybelline, why can't you be true? Oh, Maybelline, why can't you be true? You done started back doing the things you used to do, up in the morning, out to school. The teacher is teaching the golden rule. American history, practical math. You're trying hard, hoping to pass. Working your fingers right down to the bone. The guy behind you won't leave you alone. Hail, hail, rock and roll. Goodbye, Chuck Berry. Get out of that bed. Rattle them pots and pans. Get out of that bed, baby, rattle them pots and pans. Get on down to the kitchen. I'm a hungry man. Cook it yourself, idiot. Hey, everybody's going out and having fun. I'm just a fool for staying home and getting none. You realize my mind is just full of this crap? And now it all comes out in front of people. I'm a man, yes I am, and I can't help but love you so. Oh. God, Steve Winwood to Hank Snow? No, this is not right. Warned you, baby, from time to time, and just don't listen, don't pay me no mind. I'm moving on, I'm rolling on. Well, you were flying too high for my little old sky. I'm moving on. Better go, pretty baby, to the grocery store. We drank up all the wine and we need some more. The weatherman said we're gonna get a little snow. So let's lay up in the cabin and watch the wind blow. Find you a girl that'll love you all day. Treat her like a woman, she will never run away. Never live again with my back to the wall. I just love my music and my woman, that's all. I love my music and my woman, that's all. I actually wrote this one. But $1959, I'd sit back there with my electric guitar. 16 years old. I love to do this. I'll be 80 in December, and I still love to do it. I'm gonna raise a fuss, I'm gonna raise a holler. I've been working all summer just to try to raise $1. So I called Bob Dylan. He said, quote, yeah, whatever. I make fun of Bob Dylan because he's such an easy mark. But I love Bob Dylan. Don't get me wrong. I even like his voice. It's not like he claims to be a singer. He never did. He's a poet who knows how to render his songs, and he renders them well sometimes. Even though it sounds like he's using Woody Guthrie's voice. That's okay. It's okay. So did Arlo. But if anybody ever doubts what a great songwriter is, all they have to do is listen to the lyrics, such things as, may God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars, and may you climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous. Stand upright and be strong, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May your heart always be joyful, and may your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. Stay forever young. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Braden. Thanks, Christopher. Thanks, Shelley. I have one last thing to say. I hate to interrupt a wonderful moment, but if you folks have never heard of Patreon, then you should, because Artichoke has one. I have one. If you would like to patronize either an establishment or a person or an artist that you believe needs help in continuing doing what they're doing, Artichoke needs it. I've been doing pretty good. Social Security, Zoom concerts, and Patreon. And so all you have to do is to the tune of $1, $2, $5, $10 a month. That's all you have to do. And enough of you get together, then you can support a venue that needs to stay alive and needs to be going. Because this place has been here 50 years. So join Patreon, patreon.com, Patreon. Sorry to interrupt the ovation there. I appreciate it very much, but I wanted to make sure you support a place like this, because if you leave it alone, it will go away. And you do that, you're going to always say, what happened? And then you need to go look in the mirror. So get on Patreon. Thank you.